Good evening, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Sarawak Head of State says MA63 claims are 58-year-old issues and urges the federal government to finally resolve them. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim urges public not to rush to pump as RON 95 drops to RM1.99 under Budi 95, assuring prices will hold. And in world news, Trump to impose 100% tariffs on pharmaceutical from October 1st. EU says July deal caps its drug tariffs at 15%. Sarawak remains committed to pursuing the rights enshrined under the Malaysia Agreement 1963. The Sarawak Head of State, Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, stressed that these claims are not new. They have lingered for 58 years, while federal-level discussions have failed to conclude them promptly. He said one of the main reasons the claims were not more forcefully pursued earlier was that formal recognition of MA63 was only elevated on 22nd February 2022.
58 years, agreement on Malaysia cannot be referred. Once it cannot be referred, what the implication is, that means your commission of inquiry and your LDC report can no longer be referred as a reference when you negotiate the National Petrol. That's how big the implication is. But yet it was being ignored for 58 years. Our sadness is not because of anything, but then federal have failed to assist to implement MA63 since 1963. That's why it was not gradually done. Because it had gradually done, all of a sudden during the time of Abang Hari asking for this, asking for that, because that's ours. Asking for this, asking for that. Jadi namanya kita diminta, no? Because over the last 60 years we never asked for it.
He also added that the 2022 recognition of MA63 has sparked renewed vigour, not only among leaders, but also among Sarawakians who are now more aware of their rights. Tun Wan Junaidi also expressed hope that the public, especially young people, will understand the struggle and the importance of learning the history of MA63.
Former Deputy Director of Investigation and Legal Affairs at Bukit Aman's Criminal Investigation Department, Datuk Muhammad Zainal Abdullah, has officially assumed duties as the new Sarawak Police Commissioner, succeeding Datuk Mansyah Atta today. The handover ceremony between the outgoing Sarawak Police Commissioner, Datuk Mansyah Atta, and Datuk Muhammad Zainal Abdullah was held at the Seniors Officers Mess, Sarawak Contingent Police Headquarters, Kuching.
The ceremony was witnessed by the Director of the Special Branch, Royal Malaysia Police, Bukit Aman, Dato' Ibrahim Darus. In his remarks, Muhammad Zainal said his key priorities include tackling crime, notably cybercrime and narcotics.
Oleh kerana terdapat sedikit peningkatan khususnya jenayah cybercrime dan juga narkotik, maka saya akan melihat nanti, saya akan berbincang dan merangka strategi bersama dengan pasukan saya, khususnya Ketua Jabatan Narkotik dan juga Ketua Jabatan Jenayah Komersial, untuk kita sama-sama mendepani dan menyelesaikan apa juga masalah yang timbul berkaitan dengan peningkatan kes-kes jenayah yang saya sebutkan tadi lah.
For the record, commercial crime cases in Sarawak rose by 57.67% as of August this year, compared with 1,663 cases in the corresponding period last year. However, the Commercial Crime Investigation Department, JSJK or CCID, has arrested 1,901 commercial crime offenders as of early September. Meanwhile, the Narcotics Crime Investigation Department, Sarawak, recorded 7,799 arrests from January 1 to August 31, 2025, up from 7,489 in the same period last year. The value of seized drugs almost doubled to 23.6 million ringgit from 12 million ringgit in the corresponding period last year.
The Sarawak Immigration Department has stepped up enforcement, detaining 35 undocumented foreigners in separate raids and closing a suspected online gambling operation. Acting on intelligence across multiple locations, the coordinated operations coded Ops Sapu and Ops Gegar involved 32 officers from the Sibu, Miri and Bintulu enforcement units.
At 2:30 a.m. under Ops Sapu, officers raided a workers' quarters near timber processing site, arresting 9 individuals, 6 men and 3 women. Second raid on a house in a forested area led to 23 more arrests, 13 men and 10 women. Separately at 5 a.m. under Ops Gegar, a 3-story building believed to be operating as an online gambling calling center was targeted with 3 foreigners detained. All suspects failed to produce valid travel documents and were taken to a detention depot for further investigation under the Immigration Act 1959/63.
2 people were killed, while 9 others were seriously injured in a collision between a van and a Toyota Land Cruiser at a P-turn along Jalan Ulu Skrang today. The accident, which occurred at 11:59 a.m. in front of Skrang Clinic, involved a van carrying 8 male passengers and a 4-wheel drive with 3 occupants.
2 of the van passengers were pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics, while 6 others sustained serious injuries. Meanwhile, the Land Cruiser's occupants, a man, a woman and a child, also suffered severe injuries. The identities of the deceased and injured have not yet been disclosed by the authorities. Meanwhile, all victims were taken to the Betong Hospital by the Emergency Medical Rescue Service, EMRS unit, paramedics and Civil Defence Force, APM teams.
Affin Group today unveiled its Kinabalu Visa debit card, its first iconic product, specially dedicated to the people of Sabah, inspired by the beauty of Mount Kinabalu, symbolizing appreciation for the spirit and identity of the state. The debit card was officially launched at Affin's newest branch in Sabah, Affin in Naman, which has been operational since May.
Affin Group Chief Executive Officer Dr. Wan Razli Abdullah said the Kinabalu Visa debit card marks a strategic step by the group to strengthen services to the local community. He said it is a tribute to Sabah's important role in Malaysia's development, with this product specifically designed to celebrate the identity of the Sabahan people who have consistently made significant contributions to the country's economy and culture.
Hari ini kita launching Sabah Kinabalu debit card. So ini ATM card atau debit card untuk warga Sabah. IC12 ICH you layak untuk apply for Affin Kinabalu debit card. So this card is unique for Sabahans. It is zero entry deposit. You have able to use 4 times maps in the non-Affin ATM network with a minimum balance of 3,000 ringgit and many other benefits. This is a personalized card inspired by the artistic impression of the majestic Mount Kinabalu.
In addition, Wan Razli revealed that they are targeting the issuance of 16,000 Kinabalu Visa debit cards in the state through 7 branches across Sabah.
Kita punya business di Sabah sekarang is about 2 billion ringgit in terms of loans lah. So bagus juga kita punya growth. Kita punya growth growing very strong, more than double digit the growth di Sabah untuk loans and financing. Kalau kita lihat ekonomi slightly slowing down, GDP is slowing down to about 4%. So tapi kita masih optimistic ekonomi boleh grow lagi. So inshallah, we will try and grow to about 8% growth for the full year 12 bulan.
Throughout this year, AFIN has carried out a series of customer-focused campaigns and reward programs covering deposits, financing, wealth management, and lifestyle collaborations, in which customers will enjoy priority access to these campaigns, ensuring this historic year brings more benefits and opportunities to the community.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has urged the public not to rush or form long queues at petrol stations following the announcement of a reduction in the RON 95 price to RM1.99 per litre under the Budi Madani Budi 95 initiative. He said the price would remain as promised by the government.
Saya minta saudara jangan cepat gopoh 30 bulan. Tunggu 2-3 hari lah biar jangan. Kadang-kadang sana ada orang tak ditukar. Dia RM1.90, 99 sen tu kekal. Jadi tak payah semua hari-hari beratur. Ni KSP kena tengok tak ada pegawai Kementerian Kewangan yang pergi ambil minyak 30 bulan. Waktu pejabat. Sebab itu kita buat peringkat. Tentera polis. Hari ni. Esok.
He was speaking while officiating the Ministry of Finance monthly assembly in Putrajaya. He stressed that the government's move to lower the fuel price is unusually globally, as few countries do so while facing cost of living pressures. The Prime Minister added that the success of the targeted subsidy program stems from good governance, tighter control of leakages, and serious anti-corruption efforts. US President Donald Trump's announcement of steep new tariffs on medicines and other goods drew pushback from some allies on Friday, while the EU claiming immunity for its pharmaceutical industry under an earlier trade deal. The announcement late on Thursday evening, which included a 100% levy on pharmaceuticals, is the harshest trade policy by the president since last April's shock unveiling of reciprocal tariffs on virtually every US trading partner across the globe. Meanwhile, the European Union said on Friday a July deal with Washington shielded the bloc from tariffs higher than 15% on its drug export, warning that tariffs on medicine would create the worst of all worlds. China says it hoped the United States will provide open and fair treatment for TikTok and other Chinese companies investing in the country after President Donald Trump signed an executive order on a proposed deal for a US version of the app that would see Chinese ownership reduced to 20%. Beijing's Foreign Ministry spokesman Guo Jiakun told the Chinese government respects the will of enterprises and welcomes them to conduct business negotiations on the basis of market rules, reaching a solution that balances interests in compliance with Chinese laws and regulations, hoping the US will provide an open, fair, and non-discriminatory business environment for Chinese companies investing in the United States.
我要重申，中方在 TikTok 问题上的立场是清楚的。中国政府尊重企业意愿，乐见企业在符合市场规则基础上做好商业谈判，达成符合中国法律法规、利益平衡的解决方案。希望美方为中国企业到美国投资提供开放、公平、非歧视的营商环境。
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.